those abs. Get those abs. Woo! We talked about working more muscles.
Yeah.
Abs. All the stabilizing of the legs. Insane.
So it's about how many more muscles can you work? How many more muscles can you work?
Work them all, work them all.
Yeah. Whew. Dude, tired now. That was my second workout.
2 workouts in a day would be tough. So, did shoulders today. We had a goal to try some new stuff. We wanted to go with a little bit more of a plan coming in, just kind of a loose skeleton. We felt like we were all over the place last week. Came in with a little bit more of a plan, and then kind of executed well, I think, today. Did 4 versions of the landmine shoulder press, so we're working on bringing leg into arm movements, or kind of transitioning the leg press into the shoulder press, which actually worked pretty well.
Yeah.
Did some single arm stuff, which really brought in the core, and that was good for me.
I think the one thing that you'll notice with what we have been doing is, you know, we're not doing 3 sets of this, 4 sets of this, boom, boom, boom. But what are we doing? We're sweating, we're tired, we're out of breath because we're activating so many muscles. And I think that's something that people can note is, like, if you really want to come in and get your ass kicked, you know, because what's people's complaint? It's, I go to the gym, I don't even feel like anything happened. You could literally take anything we did, and that's gonna get you going.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was sweating within the first 2 minutes just because we were doing full body movements. And so if your goal is just to really get, you know, if you're a bodybuilder and you need to isolate things a lot more, then that might be not the way to do it for you. But for us, we're trying to get our heart rate going. We're also trying to kind of, you know, get into a fat burning mode while we're burning or building muscle. So I think the way that you can achieve both muscle and some good fat loss stuff is by doing multi-joint strength exercises as you can. And so what we did was we started out with those multi-joint exercises, and then we went to more of the isolated shoulder exercises, the more traditional shoulder press stuff.
But standing rather than sitting, right? Like, it's just like, think of different ways where you can always be activating other muscles and always be working other muscles, because that's what's gonna get you tired.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to someone earlier today, and they were like, you know, we want to make sure that people leave a workout like tired and like they felt like they did something.
Yep.
Because, you know, there's people in the gym who go hit a few things, a couple bicep curls, they hit like the leg extension, and they're just like, dude, I don't get it. This doesn't get me. So my advice would be, you could take the landmines we did.
Oh yeah.
And shoot, you're gonna feel
we
the burn.
We did 4 different sets. We did the double leg.
That
we
could
did
be
the
your
lunge.
day. That could be your day.
Yeah, and we worked legs and arms, and we would have left feeling like we actually did something, as opposed to, you know, sometimes you go into the gym and you go too isolated, and then, like Mitch said, you leave and your shoulders might feel a little tired, but the rest of your body, you know,
No, you're not breaking a sweat.
No sweat, no heart rate elevation. So
yep.
You got to try to hit both those aspects, especially if you're trying to maximize your time at the gym.
100%. And that's the thing. Like, if you are a bodybuilder, like, I don't know that you're watching this. You know? Like I think the main reason that I got into any of this was that I want to help the people that are struggling with it.
Yep.
Right? And I think, like, anything that we've done a really good job of showing you how to kick your own ass.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that what we're doing is for the people that are already at 98% or trying to get to 99 or 100.
Yeah.
We're kind of trying to help those of you that have, you know, trouble going to the gym and figuring out what you want to you don't know the training intensities, you don't know the exercises that you need to be doing, and so this is kind of just, for the intermediate, even beginners, and even some of the intermediate to higher level people that are trying to see some new exercises, get some new mindset changes. But it's probably not going to be for those that are right at the elite levels, the power lifters that are competing and all that stuff. So
absolutely. And that's kind of what I've liked, and that's what I want to always keep our focus is just like I said, how can you work more muscles?
I know.
Why not? Because I know like one of my main focuses in what we said is like the busy professional, right? Because you got 30 minutes in the gym.
Yep.
You start doing sitting bicep curls or sitting machine shoulder press, like
try to get as much as you can go, and that's why when we started with adding legs and adding different dynamic rotations, doing some core press, we were getting everything involved. And then we did our shoulder press standing, Arnold's, core tight, glutes tight, a little bit of strain on the legs, and
then when the other things we did was supersetting things.
Yep.
That's going to be a big factor into not only saving time but getting your heart rate up. And for those of you that don't know what a superset is, it's doing a similar exercise or something complementary right after.
Yep, between hitting back and forth. So that worked well for us today, I think. What else did we go through?
Then Zach walked us through, like, I was having a little bit of quad tendonitis, and he kind of showed a few different types of foam rolling on it, a few different eccentric movements, just to try and strengthen it a bit. Is that what the goal is?
Yeah, eccentric loading to muscles is just shown to help fiber density and strengthening. So we're trying to eliminate the concentric portion of the contraction because the quad doesn't really need that load. Although he was in that exercise, he was doing a concentric load, but you're focused on the eccentric. So if you really wanted to go heavy eccentric, you could do like the 2 up, 1 down principle, where you could do a single leg squat down with 1 leg and then up with 2 legs to kind of unload that on the way up, so you could kind of work that way. Similar to what you would do with a bicep curl, where you could go up with 2 and then you could go down with 1, up with 2, down with 1, to kind of focus on the eccentric portion of that lift.
So how does that the tendonitis?
Yeah, so when you've got the tendonitis, depending on how long you've got it, you've either got tendonitis or tendinosis. So when you start to get like more chronic tendonitis, basically what happens is that you get a cellular change, like the structure of that tendon actually starts to change. So what that eccentric loading does is it kind of signals your body to give that area some new cells to lay down some strengthened tissue in that area. Okay. So basically what you've got when you got tendonitis is you're overworking your quad. For example, in quad tendonitis, you're overworking your quad for what it's capable of doing. So the best way to strengthen a muscle to increase its capability is through eccentric loading, because that's the portion of exercise that actually builds strength.
Gotcha.
That's in the research. Concentric, far less strength building than eccentric. So we're basically focusing on the eccentric portion of the exercise so that we get our most bang for our buck, because in the end, quad tendonitis is also an overloading injury. So you're doing too much on it. So what we've got to do is try to eliminate something but still strengthen it. So we're eliminating the concentric portion or decreasing it, and then we're focused on the eccentric portion.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, I mean, I truly believe in doing that stuff, the mobility stuff, the foam rolling stuff, but it is so easy to just like skip it.
It's easy to just walk out of the gym when you're tired and you don't want to do it. So sometimes, like, I'm more comfortable doing, sometimes I stay at the gym and do my mobility, but a lot of times I'm more comfortable at my house doing my mobility. So I have a yoga mat to just set up on the ground with a foam roller next to it, and I've got all my equipment. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I have all the tools and stuff, but I just have it set up so I can get home throw on the TV, so I've got a little bit of entertainment or something, throw on some sports or whatever you want to watch, and then that makes it a little bit more bearable. Because if you're only driving 15, 20 minutes home, and then you get home, you can do some of those recovery exercises. I think it'll still be a lot more beneficial than just not doing them at all.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like I go in the morning, and so I'm like cutting time, but I need to set aside some time like at night to just like take care of it, because like you said, if you have it there, it's like, what's 5 minutes while, like you said, while you're watching TV, you could be doing that.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what works for you. Not everybody wants to do it right after their exercise. They feel too tired. Some people want to do it before, and they don't, and that might be enough to help you out. Like, you don't necessarily have to do it after. You can do some mobility stuff before, and then even do it, like what you were doing for a 30-day mobility challenge, waking up in the morning every morning and doing it, or doing it every night, or just really what works in your schedule and what makes it easiest. Because if it feels hard and there's a lot of resistance, like mentally to it, then you're not gonna be able to sustain it at all.
Right, and that's like the whole thing with Easy Wins, and this is what I do with my clients for mobility, is I'm not like, here's your 10-minute routine. I say, what's one thing you can do every day? Let's set the goal this week. You're gonna do whether it's hold the deep squat for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Do that every day. Get used to doing that. And then that becomes your routine.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I want to do something else. I can add something else on top.
Yeah, or substituting, because just once you get in that healthy habit of being able to do it, it doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you're doing something. Well, I mean, it obviously matters what you're doing. You can't just go do like laying down as a mobility exercise, but you get the point. Yeah. If you can switch it up, like one day you can do the deep squats, one day you could do some of the hip mobility stuff, and just kind of figure out what you want to do each day and kind of map that out. And it helps to map it out at first.
No doubt. No doubt.
One of the other things that I wanted to mention too, that I've been kind of posting on as well, is kind of goes along with the your mental attitude and standpoint coming into the gym is not taking your workouts so seriously that you get mad at yourself when you don't have a good workout, or like being so serious in the gym that you can't have fun. Because like we had fun today, like we were doing some fun stuff, making jokes and all that stuff. So it makes me actually want to come here on Saturdays and work out. If we just came here and beat ourselves to death and then didn't have it was just like, well, all right, we'll just go on now, like
headphones in.
Exactly. Then it doesn't really make it as enjoyable, and I think that also doesn't lend itself to really good sustainability.
Well, yeah. So what you got to think about is like, how can you do that? What is that going to be for you, right? Like, do you have a friend that you can go with that you can have a good time with? I think a big part of it too is like, you should like some aspect of your program, your routine. And if you don't, then you're doing it wrong. Like, I think it's fun because we're like trying new things. And it's like a challenge.
Testing your body.
It's a challenge. And that's what it should be. Obviously, you got to have some structure if you want to like actually reach your goals, but to a degree, as long as you're doing something, some type of work in here consistently, and then you get your nutrition right, the beginning phase, like, that's really all you need. In my mind.
And that's like one of the things, like for the Easy Wins video, we kind of made a joke about being on your phone and doing Bumble or whatever. But to me, honestly, if you're not wasting time, like you're not sitting there doing it for 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
But if you enjoy going on your Instagram and you have a timer set, or you have it on your watch and you're using your phone, and you have 2 minutes and you don't want to just sit there and focus, then do it. Because if that's going to keep you in the gym over just having to like sit there and not talk to anybody, or anything, like if that's going to keep you at the gym, then do it. Because it's something having fun. But the point is to control it, not to be like, oh, I'm going to get carried away and like go through all of this like 5 minutes. But I do it at the gym all the time. 2 minutes on my watch, it counts down. I've got my phone, I'll look at stuff, and then once that time runs out, boom, I'm ready to get back into focus.
Yeah, for me, sometimes it's like, if I got to respond to a bunch of messages or something, it's like, I'm going to do that. I'll set that time in between sets. Because it does get boring for me when I know I have to rest. I'm just like,
Yeah, especially when you're working on those power sets.
Yeah,
and
you're just
going
like,
up to like 4 minutes rest. And you
Okay.
got nothing. Yeah.
And then you're just like, fuck it, I'll just go. And
Yeah.
then you don't get what you want to get. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think like people make it a big deal. That guy's scrolling Instagram over there. I'm like, dude,
And
what are
that's
we here for,
I
man?
know, it's the
Like-
same thing. Like the judgments, it doesn't matter because in the end, if you're getting a good workout for yourself and you like the results you're getting, and you're just using your time how you like it, then there's no reason. It's not going to make you a better lifter sitting and not doing anything versus sitting with your phone.
I know.
In
Some
my
people
mind.
say like